are you in the 2 out of 3 group that will respond right away, or the 1 out of 3 group that needs food or water first, okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and get you started on the demonstration. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have you practice with this kinesiology test device. It's called the Smart Stick, because it's a way for your body to communicate to you around things that are good for it and not good for it, okay?
Okay.
All right, and we're going to be demonstrating that with some commonly known poor food substances versus good food substances and see what your body feedback says, okay?
Okay.
All right. So let's go ahead and start off with you just doing a little bit of warm-up. And if what you could do is hold on to the mic right here, and then what I'm going to have you do is bring that mic up to me,
Okay.
and I'm going to show you some of the things that you want to be aware of when you're doing the warm-up. The first thing is I don't want you to pull too hard, okay, because after all, you are just warming up. When we test on the particular products, you're going to pull a good, strong pull, okay? But like in any warm-up, you just want to have a nice, a light warm-up. So pull to about 60 or 70% of your strength, something like that, okay? So obviously, you know what the purpose of a warm-up is, right? Is to get those muscles warmed up so that we can get an accurate test.
All right.
There's a couple of things to keep in mind. First of all, we're going to have it at the same height every time, and so I may be adjusting this bar up and down for you, okay? The second thing is we're going to make sure that your elbows stay in a straight and locked position for the entire duration of the pull. All right?
All right.
Okay, so one of the things that you want to do when you're doing the testing and you're pulling on it is you want to freeze your body, okay, with the exception of your arms, okay? Your arms are the only thing doing the moving. So when you're pulling on the bar, you don't want to throw your body into it. You just want to keep your body like it was frozen, okay?
Okay.
All right, and the only thing that will be moving is your arms, like that, okay?
Okay.
And the other thing that I'm going to have you do is to watch my fingers when you pull on the bar. I don't want you necessarily looking at the numbers. I want you to keep your eye on my fingers, okay?
Okay.
And then we'll go down and after that, and we'll take a look at what the test results were. All right. Okay, and so the other thing is that we want to make sure that the speed of the pull is the same every time too. Okay, in other words, we want to do it the same way every time. So I'll be making sure that you don't pull faster one time or pull slower the next time, okay? And so I'll guide you through this whole process. It may seem like it's quite a bit to remember, but when we take it step by step, it's quite easy, okay? So the first thing is we're going to line this up with a certain mark on. I'm going to put it right down there, right at the beginning of your blouse here. And we're going to keep it at that same height every time, okay? The next thing that we're going to do is to make sure that your elbows are locked. So let me go ahead and tap those a little bit. And are they nice and straight?
Yes.
Okay, now what I want you to do is when you pull on the bar, I want you to make sure that those elbows stay in that locked position. So go ahead and rigidly lock them now. Okay, and the next thing I want you to do is to go ahead and spin this around until you can see the numbers.
All right.
And the stop sign is towards the right hand, which is perfect. And then when you pull on this, I want you to pull at approximately this speed. Okay, so let me show you this a couple more times. This speed. And one more time, this speed. Okay? And so now what I'd like for you to do is to keep your eyes on my fingers, okay, as you pull, and then what you'll do is come to a stop when it feels kind of comfortable to you because we're just warming up, okay? All right, so keep your eye on my fingers and do your pull now. Okay, very good. And then that went to 175. So we'll just go ahead and mark this at the mark of 175, okay? And remember, again, you are just warming up. So now let's go ahead and do it one more time. Good speed, okay? Now one thing I noticed is as you were pulling that you pulled apart more with this arm and you kind of had this arm a little stationary. So when we pull apart, we want to pull apart more or less equally with both arms. So let's go ahead and try that one more time, an equilateral pull. Very good, excellent, and a good speed that you had there too, okay?
Okay.
All right, so now you're kind of warmed up into doing the test, and so now we're going to go ahead and do the test. So what we have here is a couple of known food substances. One is a very artificially flavored and colored candy. It's called a Skittles. So we're going to have you test on that, and then we'll have you test on a natural wholesome food, in this case, a chickpea, okay? All right, so what we're going to use is what's known as sublingual stimulus, meaning you'll just put a sample under your tongue. And so if you can do that right now.
Which one?
Go ahead and go with a Skittle first.
Okay.
Okay, and under the tongue. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this red ring all the way back, and using that same speed, let's make sure those elbows are locked. Okay, we're going to bring this down a little bit here. I want to make sure it's the same both times. Using that same speed of the pull, I want you to give a good strong pull and then come to a stop when you feel that good strong pull. Go ahead. Okay, very good. And release, and you were at 115. So we're going to mark that to the mark of 115. Did you see how you were at 115?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's go ahead and dispose of that on the paper napkin there. And if what you could do is take a quick rinse to remove the residual effect, and swish underneath your tongue, if you would, please. And it's okay to swallow the rinse water.
All right.
And then just one more quick rinse. It's sometimes a little tough to get the food coloring out. And swish and swallow. Okay, great. And let's go ahead now and place the chickpea in under your tongue. Very good. And one more time, let's go ahead and get into position. Nice, locked. Okay, that's in good shape right there. And most of the time, people will experience a difference of about, sometimes 10% difference. It just varies, sometimes a little bit more. Now, we want you to not feel like you're going to test higher on this good, wholesome food, right? So I'd like for you to say now, I set aside my opinion on this good food right now.
I set aside my opinion on this good food right now.
Okay, because we don't want that to influence it. And make sure when you do the pull, as before, that you have an equilateral pull, and then simply come to an abrupt stop the moment that you feel that you've reached that good, strong pull. Okay, and go ahead and do it. Okay, and release. And what did you notice that time?
I definitely could pull it.
You could definitely pull a lot farther, right?
Yes.
Yeah, instead of being at 115, you were at 185.
Okay.
Okay, and so and you felt the same strength of the pull each time, is that correct?
I felt like I couldn't pull it at all with the candy.
Oh, really?
I felt, yeah, that's weird.
It is kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, but you know that you pulled the same way every time.
I certainly tried.
You certainly tried to.
Can I get rid of this?
Yes, you can get rid of that on your tongue.